Hey guys, Dr. Tiff here. I want to do a little tutorial today. I have questions all the time about MyFitnessPal. You know, if you're working with me, that's the application that we use to track our daily intake and really make sure that we're counting our macros appropriately. And there's a lot of nuances with all those online trackers, and so I just wanted to take a few minutes here and do a little tutorial on some tricks of the trade that I've learned. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up MyFitnessPal now. So you guys know that obviously this is just the generic login screen, and I'm going to go ahead and go into my account so you can kind of see what a blank template looks like. So as it's loading here, you guys see this main screen. You'll see your total caloric intake, which we're not really that concerned about. You know, our main concern here at S2 Nutrition is our macronutrient intake, which is our carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And if you scroll up here to the food tab and click on that, once you and I have met and we've consulted and I've finalized your goals, you'll be able to see what your macro range goals are for the day. So you can see mine are set down here: 225 carbs, 40 fat, and 135 protein. One of the things that I think people get most frustrated with is just having to consistently find and search the database for food. So I was going to show you just a couple quick tips specifically on just how to copy foods over from the day before. So I'm a pretty routine person, tend to eat the same thing for breakfast every morning, barring something unusual like a weekend trip or something like that. But if you see this quick tools menu here, this is a really easy way if you're one of those people that has the same smoothie every morning or your same oatmeal and egg whites every morning. If you pull down this quick tools menu, you can just copy either yesterday, or let's say, yesterday wasn't exactly what your norm is, you can copy from date. So I'm going to just go ahead and copy yesterday, and it'll automatically pull over what I ate for breakfast yesterday. So you can see I had a 3/4 of a cup of egg whites, a slice of reduced fat Colby Jack, and a flatbread. So I had made like a little burrito, so to speak, out of that. So that's one thing that I find really simple for those of us that, are kind of in a flow and tend to eat the same things at least for breakfast, and maybe our snacks and lunch and dinner vary a little bit. The other thing that I wanted to point out was just some ways that you can really be mindful of how you're searching a food. So if I go in here and I add a food to lunch, okay, and let's just say I'm going to search for, Chili's margarita chicken. So when you pull that up, it's going to show you so many options, and I know that can get really overwhelming. So I would just really urge you to click on 3 or 4 of these and see the consistency and try to find one that really replicates what you had. For instance, this one was served with rice and beans. This one, it says with everything. Down here, it's just the chicken. So let's say that you had you ordered the margarita grilled chicken, and you modified everything, and you had it with broccoli and black beans, or maybe you didn't have any sides with it. So if I click on this margarita chicken only, 1 breast, and I just click that little nutrition info, I can quickly look and say, okay, 8 carbs. That seems pretty reasonable because it probably has some kind of seasoning or maybe a little bit of sauce on it. 4 grams of fat. I think that's pretty reasonable if they cooked it in a little oil or something. And then it's got 31 grams of protein. I'd say it's probably about a 5-ounce breast. So that seems reasonable, but I'm going to go ahead just to be safe, and I'm going to click on this no sides and see what this person decided that it would look like. So Again, 1 breast, click here, 4 fat, 8 carbs, 31 proteins. So both those entries are the same. So I feel pretty confident that they've done their research on that. So I could go ahead and add that in. Again, if I had the broccoli and black beans, then maybe I pick that one. Rice and beans here. So just be an informed consumer. Don't just pick the very first one on the menu. I've seen that a lot of times, especially with salads, because if you get the dressing on the side, then oftentimes it's not accurately reflecting the fats that you had, because the entry actually includes dressing on the salad. So sometimes I'll just say, grilled chicken, salad, no dressing, and then I can really find one. So again, it'll list a bunch of different restaurants. So if you had that at a specific restaurant, you might want to go ahead and put in the actual restaurant. But good rule of thumb, put in exactly what you had and how you ordered it, because odds are somebody else out there has ordered it. If you put in Wendy's Asian chicken salad, no dressing, I'm going to guess somebody else out there in the millions of people using this have put that into the mix. So look, Asian cashew chicken salad, full size, no nuts, no dressing. That's awesome. So then I don't have to go in and worry about that. Now, I might double check myself on the Wendy's website, or down here even a half salad, no dressing. So go ahead and type in exactly what you want to find, and then if they don't have it, you might have to do a little additional research, like going to the other website. So let's just go ahead and say that's what I ate for lunch. I'm going to add it to the database. So you can see here as I go through my day, I can start to see how my macros are adding up, what's left in my budget, what holes I need to fill. I can already say if that's all I had for lunch, my carbs are going to be pretty hard to hit because I had a pretty low carb breakfast. Probably need to add maybe a half a baked potato from Wendy's here to get my carb count up. So again, if I go in here and I put add food, Wendy's plain baked potato, patata. It's a patata, guys, but look, it'll probably come up there anyway. So I've got it, click on that, 283 grams. Okay, so they've obviously, somebody's weighed that out. It's got 4 confirmations, but I'm just going to click on the nutrition info. 61 carbs, that sounds pretty reasonable. No fat because it's a potato, and there's a little protein in there in the skin. So I feel pretty confident in that, but I only had half of it, so I'm going to change that serving size. I'll make sure to adding it to lunch, and then I'm going to just add that food in. So there we go. That's a nice breakdown for me for lunch. So you can see I'm trying to get a good balance there. I'm always trying to have a little bit of fat, and I probably could even add a little butter, or maybe I want some cheese, or maybe I want to put a few nuts on my salad. So I have a little playroom there. I had a pretty healthy serving of fats for breakfast based on my intake, and then again, I kind of see where I'm moving in the right direction for the day. So I hope that helps. I'm going to keep posting these and helping you guys kind of understand how to navigate as you start to learn logging and being really an informed consumer is the topic today, where you don't just pick the first thing on the menu, but we want to do a little bit of research with any entry that we choose, so that we make sure that somebody hasn't just gone in and done just total calories, because there's a lot of people out there that are just counting calories. So if they create an entry, they don't care about the macro breakdown. So they might just be putting in 250 calories and zeros across the board just to make sure they're hitting their calorie counts. So just always double check before you send me logs. Look at those macros and start to understand what makes sense. If you eat an omelet and it says 0 protein, you know something's not right. So don't make me do all the babysitting on that. I want you guys to start to be educated and mindful about making the right entries so that we're getting the best reflection we can of what's going in the tank. So awesome, guys. Thanks a bunch. S2 Nutrition signing off.